want you to tell us from your perspective the history of guitar effects pedals.
I do remember kind of thinking, man, nobody's gonna have these in 20 years. No one's gonna care anymore.
Guitar pedals, how long are people gonna want to use these things? Are they gonna want to use them 10 years from now? And this was in the mid-90s.
Well, it all came from those Nashville cats. They were the ones who pushed the technology.
You know, they're literally inventing like what rock and roll became.
In its truest form, I think it's like Roger Mayer making stuff for Hendrix.
Mike Matthews, he's a god. His company, he said, was born in a cloud of pot smoke.
Pete Drake, he started to get this little box out. Then he got this tube out and put the tube in his mouth.
I remember when rack gear first started to come out, I had the equivalent of 3 giant refrigerators filled with gear, and that was my rig.
They create the ability to make sounds live that we used to only associate with studio effects.
So we came into rehearsal one day and there was this sound in the room and it was like, what is that sound? Oh, it's this pedal. And then that became sort of the Siamese dream sort of sound.
I like to view my pedal board as like, those are my instruments and the guitar is the sound source.
We're all frequently playing and using instruments and amps and things that are made by other people that are variations or derivations of things that came before.
I consider myself a tool maker. I wanted to recreate these, $800 effects and put them out at $200. That was kind of my goal.
You saw a lot of people who stopped buying expensive items. They still wanted something that would inspire them to write or play.
Next thing I knew, there was Earthquaker, Catlin Bread, Wampler. There was this, that, and the other thing.
You can just go on the internet and be like, okay, I want to build a clone for this, and then I'll market it myself.
Whoa, there's this, and that exists too, and that's a real thing? That's a company?
This gear reviewer or a gear demonstrator was now a profession, and it was just something that I stumbled into.
It's mostly hobbyists turned into accidental businessmen.
You're working with me for the internet, answering your emails, building this stuff. It's truly a family-owned and operated business.
We used to get so many people that would be like, good luck with your hobby, and we'd be like, thanks.
That's an actual quote.
There's a lot of women building pedals right now, a lot.
I learned everything that you never are supposed to do in a pedal business in those first 8 months.
We're kind of creating something which is for a smaller market. Some of the music that's the most interesting to me, like a lot of people don't like.
It's important that we're doing something that nobody else is doing.
I want to be talked about as an innovator, and if I don't, then I won't be.
What does it mean anymore, Like boutique, what does it mean?
It wasn't any different than, the Beatles playing. God, I should not equate myself to the Beatles.
It's delivering people a sound that they didn't know they could have.
It's crazy for me to wrap my head around Aerosmith or High on Fire using something that I designed in my basement, right?
I think pedals have been completely integrated into musical instruments at this stage.
There's these people that are like chained to the wall eating dog food in their mother's basement. They're just sitting there typing away as to why the Tube Screamer is still the best pedal ever.